Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel, The Great Metabolites. Today we're going to be talking about career opportunity for biochemistry graduates, and this is the part 2 of this series. If you haven't watched the part 1, please go and watch it as we covered some very key and pertinent entry-level job opportunities for biochemistry graduates. In part 2, as promised, we're going to focus mostly on mid-level job opportunities and also address some of the senior level job opportunities that are available for biochemistry graduates. Upon graduation, many biochemistry graduates are at the crossroad of decision, wondering what to do. Some decide to get into the job market immediately and get some entry-level job opportunities to start off life. However, others understand the fact that an advanced graduate degree will enable them to develop more specialized knowledge and skills that will open doors for careers that are not really accessible for individuals who have just an undergraduate degree, and such careers could be more related to research, consulting, teaching positions, and the list goes on, as we're going to cover in this presentation. The salary level for individuals who have a graduate degree will also depend on several factors, including the level of experience you got, what area of specialization you choose to specialize in. Did you end up with a master's degree? Did you end up with a postgraduate diploma? Did you end up with a doctorate degree? All of those factors will come into play. And also, where are you seeking for work? All of those and many others will determine what salary you earn at the end of the day. Upon admission into the university, it takes 3 or 4 years of studies to earn a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. If your plans are to continue with postgraduate studies, you must ensure that during your undergraduate studies, you make good grades that will earn you either a first-class degree or a second-class upper division. In some countries like Nigeria, upon graduation, you are expected to spend 1 year to serve the nation in the National Youth Service Corps program. Most countries in the world do not have this program, so graduates can transition directly into entry-level job opportunities, which we already covered in the part 1 of this series. Graduates might proceed for postgraduate studies, and depending on whether you're changing your field of studies and the class of degree you ended up with at undergraduate level, you may be required to take a postgraduate diploma, which usually is a year's program, again depending on where you are and what you're studying. The postgraduate diploma might qualify you for mid-level job opportunities. If you spend 2 more years of studies, you end up with a master's degree, and the master's degree will qualify you for mid-level job opportunities also. And with experience in your master's degree, you could qualify for senior level job opportunities. After a master's degree, depending on where you are, it may take you approximately 4 years to earn a doctorate degree in your field of study. With a doctorate degree, you are qualified for senior level job opportunities, and you need publications and some postdoc experience to catapult you to the appropriate senior level job opportunity you might be seeking for. With your postgraduate diploma, your master's degree, or your doctorate degree, you may also choose to become an entrepreneur or a freelancer and do your own stuff, run your own business, or run your own social media platform, as the case may be. There are several areas of specialization in biochemistry, ranging from pharmacological biochemistry, medical biochemistry, food and nutritional biochemistry, environmental biochemistry. You might choose to become an immunochemist, an enzymologist, a plant biochemist, a toxicologist. You may choose to study genetic engineering and biotechnology, reproductive biochemistry, cell and molecular biology, bioinorganic chemistry, neurochemistry. You may decide to get into proteomics and genomics, medicinal chemistry, bioinformatics, neurobiology, cell biology, and many other areas of specialization in biochemistry that exist out there. And you may also decide not to stay in those different areas of specialization of biochemistry. You may decide to switch into other fields. Again, as a biochemistry graduate, your horizon is wide. You could switch to other fields of study. So where can you find mid-level and senior level job opportunities as a biochemistry graduate? You could find job in colleges and universities as a professor or a lecturer or a lab technician, as the case may be. You could find job in agrochemical companies, in hospital laboratories. Many pharmaceutical companies out there employ biochemists for mid and senior level job opportunities. There are cosmetic companies out there, the food production companies out there that have entry-level, mid-level, and senior-level job opportunities for biochemistry graduates. You could find employment in law firms, government agencies, sales and marketing firms, publishing companies, biotechnology companies, oil and gas companies, just to name a few. So we're going to focus on some of the mid-level and senior-level career opportunities that biochemistry graduates can expect. Again, these are just a few that we can think of. There are so many opportunities out there. You just need to explore the market and find yourself an opportunity that suits your needs. If you are excited about community service, you love research, and you're passionate about teaching, then you may want to consider a career as a lecturer or a university professor. Professors develop course materials and teach requisite courses at university and colleges. They supervise students both at undergraduate and graduate levels. They conduct research in their areas of specialization and publish research articles in journals around the world. Professors also write proposals for grants to fund their research. They deliver presentations. They perform community services and also handle other administrative duties as required by the community and university in which they serve. Professors could be tenured professors who perform teaching, research, and community service, or non-tenured professors who are mostly involved just in teaching and service. Lecturers, on the other hand, differ from professors in that they really do not have research obligations. Both lecturers and professors are employed mostly by universities and colleges, as well as research institutions. If you choose a career as a lecturer, then there are different mid-level and senior level career opportunities for lecturers. You can choose to be a graduate assistant or an assistant lecturer. Mostly this position will be for master's degree holders who are studying full-time for a doctorate degree. You could choose to be a career lecturer. In some countries, career lecturers could be categorized as lecturer 2, lecturer 1, and senior lecturers. Some lecturers usually will aspire to eventually become tenured professors, and those lecturers will engage in research while on their career as lecturers. With the appropriate publications and years of experience, a senior lecturer could eventually become a professor, depending on if they decide to conduct research. Some individuals decide just to be part-time lecturers, in which case they have other jobs and they just have lecturing as a part-time opportunity. Some lecturers are just freelancers who work part-time in other jobs while lecturing. Again, freelancers might also aspire to become tenured professors, in which case they will be required to conduct research while performing their duties as lecturers. Now, if you made excellent grades while studying for your undergraduate degree, then the pathway to professorship will be pretty smooth, starting from when you are a graduate student who has a master's degree, in which case you could be employed as a graduate assistant or an assistant lecturer. Graduate assistants could get promoted to instructors or lecturers. In most cases, lecturers 2, then lecturer 1, still with a master's degree, or you could have earned a doctorate degree at this stage. In countries like Canada, with a doctorate degree, you get promoted to an assistant professor, provided you've demonstrated commitment in teaching and research. In other countries, a lecturer 2 is promoted to a lecturer 1, and a lecturer 1 gets promoted directly to a senior lecturer, provided they have a substantial number of scholarly publications and they've also demonstrated commitment in teaching. Now, senior lecturers will eventually become promoted to associate professors or readers. Now, to become an associate professor, you must have a national reputation as a scholar in your field of specialization. In addition to demonstrating excellence in teaching and community service, as well as administrative commitments. Associate professors or readers eventually become professors after years of commitment in teaching, research, and international reputation as scholars in their field of study. Another mid-level job opportunity for a biochemistry graduate with a master's degree would be to work as a laboratory demonstrator or laboratory instructor. Basically, as a demonstrator or instructor, your duty will be to provide instructional assistance to other professors in the department or under the guidance or direction of the head of department or the departmental chair. You will be required to ensure that laboratory equipment and apparatus are available for the different laboratory sessions. You'll be expected to conduct demonstration of the experiments to the students, and you'll be expected to provide some assistance to students during the course of the laboratory exercises. Typically, laboratory instructors are employed by universities and colleges, research laboratories, and other private agencies. Another mid-level job opportunity for biochemistry graduates with a master's degree could be to work as a research assistant or a clinical research associate. Basically, a research assistant is working in collaboration with the principal investigator or the researcher to conduct research in a particular field of study or in a particular project. Organizations that hire research assistants will be universities and colleges, research institutions, government agencies, and other private industries like the pharmaceutical, biotechnological, and other consulting organizations. With a doctorate degree, you could have a senior level job opportunity as a research scientist or a government researcher. In this position, you are expected to conduct research, publish your findings, and also supervise junior staff that are involved in the research project. The research scientist's career position is usually almost entirely laboratory based, and organizations that hire research scientists will include universities and colleges, research agencies, government agencies, pharmaceutical companies, biotechnological companies, private owned chemical manufacturing companies, and many other scientific and technical consulting firms. With your master's degree or your doctorate degree, you can choose a career path to work as a clinical chemist. Usually, clinical chemists will have a lot of laboratory commitments, and they usually will be involved in original research ideas, working in collaboration with other research scientists. Clinical chemists are capable of developing diagnostic processes and products. Clinical chemists are usually employed by hospitals or clinical laboratories. They could be employed by public or private research facilities, pharmaceutical companies, commercial reference laboratories, government agencies, universities and colleges, as well as other foundations that conduct research in different areas of scientific endeavor. With your master's or doctorate degree, you could also work as a pharmaceutical chemist or a chemical analyst in pharmaceutical firms. Usually, pharmaceutical chemists could work as consultants or researchers working in collaboration with other researchers to develop new drugs for human or animal use. Pharmaceutical chemists are employed by chemical, pharmaceutical, and biotechnological companies. They could also be employed by companies that are involved in food processing, agrochemical companies, and other natural resource and utility industries. They could also be employed by environmental engineering consulting firms, government agencies, as well as hospitals and universities. With your graduate degree, you could find mid-level or senior level career opportunities in the areas of quality assurance, working as a quality control technician or an analytical chemist. Analytical chemists will follow standard operating procedures to plan and execute complex analytical and physical chemistry tests using a variety of techniques and instruments like NMR, mass spec, HPLC, and present results to various stakeholders. Analytical chemists could find career opportunities in colleges and universities, in government agencies, in private research firms, pharmaceutical companies, consulting firms, chemical manufacturing companies, food production companies, oil and gas sector, or they could choose to work as self-employed consultants. With your master's and PhD, you could earn a job as a laboratory manager or a laboratory coordinator. This will depend on your interest in research, your ability to lead others, your experience, your skill set, and your area of specialization. Typically, laboratory managers are employed by private chemical manufacturing companies, government agencies, pharmaceutical companies, private research firms, and university and colleges. Depending on your area of specialization, you may choose a non-traditional career path of working as a consultant. Consultants usually are individuals who have national and or international reputation in their areas of specialization. They are usually required to develop and recommend strategies to manage crisis situations. For instance, petrochemical industries will consult with environmental biochemists to tackle crisis situations that involve oil spills. Consultants also help to research and create developmental strategies that could help in the growth of organizations. Some firms will require consultants to conduct interviews, research, and survey to help them gain understanding of their business activities. Others will require consultants to help in organizing training workshops for employees at different levels. Consultants are also required to study and analyze trends to help develop business plans for different organizations. You could also choose the career of working as a science advisor. There are many organizations that have science as an important and central function of their operation and success. These organizations will require the services of science advisors who are responsible for providing the leadership of the organization with information on technical and scientific issues. Typically, science advisors are hired by pharmaceutical companies, medical device and product companies, clinical research organizations, and many government agencies, as well as private organizations. You could also find mid and senior level career opportunities to work as a medical scientist or a medical writer or a medical illustrator or a science writer. Usually, if you combine your biochemistry knowledge with a little bit of journalism, that can create some very unique skill sets that will come handy when you work as a medical scientist. Generally, medical writers are responsible for creating medical documents that provide accurate details about medical information and products for a variety of audience. Medical writers or medical illustrators can find jobs in pharmaceutical companies, medical device and product companies, in clinical research organizations. They could work for medical doctors, or they could decide to work in continuing education companies. They could work in government agencies, as well as work in publishing companies like websites, newspapers, newsletters, magazines, medical journals, and other media that publish contents that are related to medical topics. A combination of biochemistry and computer science can create very unique and desired skill sets that qualifies you for a career path as a computational biologist or a bioinformatician. Usually, bioinformaticians combine research in biology, medicine, and health-related studies with information technology in order to collect and interpret data covering a wide range of fields such as genetics, pharmaceutics, just to name a few. Bioinformaticians are employed by privately owned research laboratories, healthcare facilities such as hospitals, government agencies, biotechnology companies, as well as universities and colleges to work as researchers. Some employers require that you have a graduate degree for you to qualify for a position or a career path as a forensic scientist or a DNA lab analyst. As a forensic scientist, you will be responsible for analyzing, identifying, classifying, and interpreting physical evidence that may have been submitted by law enforcement and related agencies. Typically, forensic scientists find employment in government agencies and crime labs. They could find job in medical examining or coroner offices, private research laboratories, forensic service laboratories, and even in morgues. A graduate degree will qualify you for a career path in the areas of food and drug safety. You could work as a food and drug inspector or a food safety auditor or a public health inspector. Food and drug inspectors can be hired by food production and distribution companies, pharmaceutical companies, water purification and distribution companies, government food and drug agencies, or you could work as a self-employed consultant or work in the oil and gas sector. A master's or doctorate degree is usually required to work as a regulatory affairs manager or a compliance specialist. Regulatory affairs managers act as a link between their employers, its products, and regulatory agencies. Regulatory affairs managers will typically work for biotech and pharmaceutical companies. They work for companies that manufacture medical devices and diagnostic equipment. They work in cosmetic and nutritional product companies. They work for contract research agencies. They work for regulatory, legal, marketing, and scientific consulting firms, as well as healthcare and medicinal product regulatory agencies. Combining your advanced biochemistry knowledge with business training such as having an MBA can create very unique and desired skill sets that allow you to operate as an entrepreneur who can translate inventions or technologies into products and services. Entrepreneurial ventures could include starting up a research company or a laboratory, starting up a chemical manufacturing company, a medical instrument company, a food and drug industry, a health and beauty care industry, a biotechnology facility, a drug manufacturing company, an environmental pollution control company, a medical laboratory. As an entrepreneur, you could decide to start up an educational institution, a public health entity, a cosmetic industry. You could start your own forensic lab or blood services company, a hospital or a clinic, a research institution, an agriculture and fishery company, an industrial laboratory, etc., etc. With your advanced degree in biochemistry, you could work as a science blogger who composes engaging and informative articles related to specific and consistent subject matter for publication on a website or on a dedicated blog. Science bloggers could be employed by organizations, or they could choose to work as freelancers or be self-employed. Usually, science bloggers could also be social media professors who share their knowledge on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, SlideShare on LinkedIn, just to name a few platforms. As a biochemist, you do have many career options. In this presentation, we've identified some of the career opportunities that are available out there. This list of opportunities is not exhaustive, so you can definitely find a career path in any field of your choice. We wish you all the best as you decide on what career path you choose to follow. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, The Great Metabolite. Watch out for part 3 of this series.